Hello everybody, a lot of you may be wondering, what is the most tedious thing in Fallout 4? Is it wandering around aimlessly? No. Perhaps it's the combat? Again, no. Maybe gaining bottle caps? Absolutely no. It's leveling up the perks you don't have access to yet. Adds that not being able to attack, and already it paints quite a picture. So today's the day we ask, can you beat Fallout 4 with ejected fusion cores? A lot of you will probably be asking, Frame, don't ejected fusion cores deal loads of damage? And yes, you're right. However, we actually have the massive barrier to entry. We need to get the damn perk we need in the first place. Add to that, we need a conveyor belt supply of fusion cores, which is extremely tedious, even by challenge run standards. And then we have to hit level 26, and once we hit level 26, we have to spend a lot of caps for every attack we do. This is quite the challenge. But fear not, for the insanity within me has a plan for this run, a extremely niche one, but one that provides everything that we need. We'll also need power armor. Any will do, quite frankly, for this challenge, but we'll need our perk for it to be useful. Otherwise, we'll just be sapping the juice of the fusion core, and that's not very productive now, is it? As for the rules, we may only deal damage using ejected fusion cores, no cheating or modding, and we're going to be playing on very hard difficulty. Very hard difficulty is actually slightly harder than survival since it gives us less experience. But with all that said, let's crack on with the run. So, first things first, we have our character, lovely stuff. We get to decide our stats and Vault Tech call, and here we go. We want as high intelligence as possible, a little bit of luck for Idiot Savant, and of course some perception. A very peculiar build for sure, but it will make sense when you see it. Anyway, we do the usual, get frozen in Fallout 4, then deal with the rad roaches in Vault 111. This voltage generator is saving our life right here, and the vault opens, we board the lift, and the wasteland is ours for the taking. So, first part of our plan is resources. We need them pronto, so we go around Sanctuary, including the bunkers, and get many junk items. We use Codsworth to clear out the surrounding area because, well, he's a Mr. Handy with a circular sword blade, so why not? And we now have a safe haven for our operations in the Commonwealth. Carla is met, and we find a couple of useful items actually, mainly a dashing hat, so thank you Carla, you certainly know your fashion, and that's quite something. We also get beer. Now some of you would say this is an exploit, I say we need every advantage we can get, and if the game allows it, so be it. So we drink beer, get Sean's special book to raise our intelligence to 11. Yes, we need this to be the biggest and most brainiest person in all the wasteland. That XP isn't going to chase itself. So I have 11 intelligence, and frankly we look quite suspicious, like a D&D rogue I guess. And you wouldn't be wrong, because the fastest way for us to get our resources is to take them from other people. So have an happy farm, your tater crops are now ours. Thanks guys. And we actually get our first level up, so we decide to get a first on the channel night person, so we get +2 intelligence between 6 PM and 6 AM. A very worthwhile perk, and why we need perception in the first place. Then of course we get a standard in our Fallout playthroughs, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor. It always manages to find a way in these challenges, and well, here is no different. It is essential in our planner. And then it's over to Bunker Hill. We go up the stairs to get Live and Love, so we get 25% more XP, persuading men. Not very useful, but hey, every little helps after all. And of course, we explore around Park Street Station and we get another level up. So we get the one and only Idiot Savant. It won't proc as much, but it has a chance to give us 3 times the XP, so we'll be a fool not to take it. And then the Boston Library. Well, we all know this one, the most common bobblehead in these playthroughs, and these silly people don't want us gaining entry, and they clearly not had a cup of tea. So go find the nearest Diamond City security guard and point at the people and say, "That's the men, officer," and he does a stellar job giving out justice. Well done, sir. The library has the intelligence bobblehead, so we now have a base in 12 intelligence, but we're still not done. We need more intelligence. Always more intelligence, people. And we loot all of the mutants and go to Diamond City. This is where we'll get what we need. We make some okay caps, spend most of our caps on mentats, and mentats are going to be our best friend this run. We start by getting the settlement in working order. We place some crops and beds. Carla is around for any junk items and resources. Then we go to Trudy's, and well, we get the age-old free experience, so thank you for dealing with Wolfgang, and of course, Trudy has what we need, some mutt fruit. With a few more tater plants, we're getting there slowly but surely. A couple of turrets are built, and we need them to keep the enemies out after all, and it lets us go meet Dog Meat. We can't use him, which is unfortunate, but we can keep him in Sanctuary Hills to protect him, so we do just that, and Dog Meat is a good boy and runs along. He can now be free. We then have mole rats, and these are what's preventing us from having the Red Rocket truck stop. So we retreat towards our new 5.56mm friend, getting lovely results on this bridge here. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well done, turrets, thank you. We even managed to get a stunted Yo guy in the mix. Yogi Bear's not really up for chatting, so, we hit level 4, get the perk Science, and this perk is the backbone of our whole game plan. But put a pin in that, we'll come into play a little bit later. Anyway, we decide to start on the Red Rocket truck stop, then decide to go to the Museum of Freedom for some experience. We've got a good start, but we still have a very, very long way to go. The important things in Fallout 4 are here. A kitty cat. Why is it here? No one knows, but here it is. Nice to know cats survive nuclear fallout. We begin harvesting our crops for the first time. It's doing amazing, but again, we still have a lot to do for some more experience. So we go to Thicket Excavation, since we have Aqua Boy, and we can just plug all the pipes, no problem. You can do it without Aqua Boy, but you get a lot of radiation. We hand in the quest, or we would, if there weren't any Mirelurks here. A legendary Mirelurk decides to fight, so we simply can't do this quest now. However, with this legendary Mirelurk, we decide let him chase us across the Commonwealth, and we say hello to some feral ghouls. So who's going to win? Mirelurk or feral ghouls? Well, we don't wait around to find out, we just run away to Ten Pines Bluff. Another Tato settlement. So now we can fast travel here and steal all their Tato. Then something interesting happens. Duke, an Atom Cat, is wandering around. This is clearly a sign. What it means? No idea, but an Atom Cat wants atom bombs, so that's what we'll strive for. It's a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. We travel across the Commonwealth in search of our next prize, and it's quite nerve-wracking when you don't have any means of attack and can only run away. The Forged are terrifying, the Super Mutants are also terrifying, but ladies and gentlemen, the Slog is here, and we can have corn, the second thing we need. And now we have it. And spoilers, this is the exciting bit of the run. It's about to get quite boring. But the last thing we need is right next door on Greentop Nursery. It is, of course, mutt fruit. Now, some of you may be scratching your head thinking, Framey, you've lost the plot, and you're absolutely right, I have. But trust the insanity, I assure you, the results are stupendous. Also, Greentop Nursery have a problem we can actually solve. We pay a ransom of 350 caps, an absolute bargain to be able to control a settlement. So now we have 3 settlements, we can scale up our operations at Sanctuary Hills. This is amazing. Of course, happiness is essential here, and we need happy settlers, as this will help us with our production over time and attract new settlers. So a win-win. And of course, the hairdresser is here to finish it all off. So with happiness taken care of, lots of exercise machines here, we start putting our crop down. We're so close to starting our empire, but first we get the perk Gun That Rank 1, so we can have heavy machine gun turrets just to be safe and secure. Red Rocket truck stops get the same treatment, major expansion, mainly so we can nab some experience, but also to work towards our goal of getting a workforce to help us out. We get a level up and put a point into charisma, the last stat we need for our plan, but we need quite a lot of points in charisma. With everything in Red Rocket truck stop set, we get some basic defenses, and we are set to now doing everything we need to do. All we have to do is wait. Whilst I wait, I decide to go exploring and see if we can get some loot from Sunshine Tidings, and sure enough, Dr. Goodfields is here with his circular saw blade to cut the ghouls up. He's quite good at that, and he's out of his mind after time, so I'll call that a stealth kill if anything else. We finish over here and grab the skill magazine, and this, I will admit, is a personal favourite of mine, since all killed animals now have double the meat on them. Then some rangers attack us, and Dr. Goodfield saves us once again, so we decide, whilst he's killing them, run off and let him fight this battle alone. Heroic? No, but survival? Yes, and we kind of want to live. Now it's time to travel between each settlement, and we have to harvest as much of the crops as possible, and this took several hours in real life time, and eventually I just stopped recording and just kept going between each of the 3 settlements. The things we do for the videos on YouTube. Ah, yes. Or to get lucky and get 2 Mirelurks towards the amphitheatre, and one of the initiates has the fabled road goggles we're after. They give a +1 intelligence boost, Doesn't sound like much, but this is amazing. And now we're ready. As you can see on screen, we have 25 intelligence thanks to some chems and cocktails amongst other things, and we just churn out vegetable starch. This is the key to us gaining so much experience, and we can make it indefinitely. Every time we make it like this, we get roughly about 2.5 levels from every batch, and you bet your bottom dollar this took a long time. Takes about 2 to 3 hours to get the required resources, so you can imagine how long this took to get all of this. Anyway, fast forward 12 hours in real life, and we have got this down to a fine art. We've hit level 25, and our perks are very good indeed. We have spec'd into armor and science, along with Night Person out rank 2, with some points in charisma, but the grind is still very real, and we're a long way off still. However, after a few more hours, we hit level 27. I actually forgot to spec into nuclear physicist when I hit level 26, but that's on me, and now we have the required level. It's now time to move on to phase 2 of the grind. Yet again, grinding once more, but this time for fusion cores. Yep, we're still not done, people. The grind is very real in this challenge, but we don't have to prepare anything since everything is already in place. So, with our new outfit, we begin trading for as many caps as possible, and then we begin swimming to the most amazing place, the sign we had to follow all along when we saw Dukes. We go to the Atom Caps, and of course, Aquaboy makes this all possible, and of course, Rowdy is here, and we have to simply do a shiar, so a quick swim towards the Warwick pump station, we fix it up, settlers thank us, and the gunners begin attacking, so we wail around whilst the Atom Cats clean everything up. Get ourselves not only a discount, but an Atom Cats outfit. Simply excellent. Now we have everything we need. Water purifiers are constructed in many of the settlements, and we trade our way with purified water to get as many fusion cores as possible. First we go to Good Neighbor, then to the Atom Cats, then to Diamond City, and doing that circuit we get roughly 15 to 20 fusion cores every trip. Our charisma also helps because it keeps the prices of the fusion cores quite low, and because of our outfit we can get them for about 300 caps, and because we go to the Atom Cats they give us a discount, so just under 300 caps. Very, very nice. Then what we do is we go to our pals the Atom Cats to get our new set of gear. So, first things first, full set of T45 above the Museum of Freedom, so, you know, that's really good. But then we upgrade it with the T60, so Rowdy sells us all the bits we need, and then we go on back to Sanctuary and upgrade it to Tier 5 or Model Type E. And now we're ready to rumble. You've all waited long enough, ladies and gentlemen, and yet it's been quite an ordeal, but we then start dropping some atom bombs on the Triggermen, and well, needless to say, it's chaotic, it's insane, and blimmin' heck is it fun and satisfying. All the work is absolutely worth the payoff. They just get launched around the room, and we drop clusters of fusion cores to turn things up to 11. Needless to say, this is so much fun as everything is being carpet bombed by fusion cores. Honestly, one of the funnest ways to play when it comes together, and we just run on through with our bombing runs. They just can't stay in one place for too long, including us actually, because this is almost like hot potato. It's insane and wonderful at the same time. Of course, Dino is probably very well aware we're in here due to us being a mechanised saboteur. Not exactly subtle, but the results are very explosive. Yeah, no different for him. Valentine is met and we just storm through, doing much the same, exploding everything in our path. The Triggermen are all alerted, very much ahead of time, and they can't really stop us on our trail of woe. I'm sure shell shock warfare like this has never been done in the Commonwealth before, and the red grenades on screen are just absolutely hilarious to watch. Skinny Malone decides to have a tone with Nick, forgetting his manners. How dare he? So we go ahead and put a stop to that like a true Atom Cat and do the Atom Cat bombardment. Needless to say, they did not survive. Nick, confused at the new warfare doctrines we created, invites us to his office, and while this leads us to Kellogg Cornflake's house, and this is the first time on the channel we can actually lockpick his house, because I spec'd into lockpicking because I was bored. So Dogmeat met. Let's get into Fort Hagen. We send Dogmeat to a safe location at Sanctuary Hills. We might hurt the poor doggo, and that is unacceptable. However, the Institute underestimate us, and we do our Atom Cat bombardment run. They cannot stand up to the chaos, the madness, the insanity. It is too much for them, and we come out somewhat alive. For some reason, I keep thinking the fusion cores are similar to the Crash Bandicoot TNT. Probably just me, but the beeping vaguely reminds me of them. But gosh darn, are they effective in combat. These robots are taken apart from fusion core explosions. What's not to love? As for Kellogg, he's actually quite a tough cookie because we are level 31 and he scales with our level. So he does have a lot of health, but that doesn't stop us from making him a very painful time against us. And well, he gets thrown across the room, and I didn't actually notice this, and well, he gets his complimentary Crash Bandicoot TNTs to finish him off. And well, we win in the most entertaining way possible. So thank you, Kellogg. That was actually a really enjoyable fight against you. Now we know where Sean was, thanks to the terminal. Not that it matters, and the Brotherhood is still shut. They have also T60 power armor, so they're probably friends with the Atom Cats, so we'll say fine, how do you do? Remembering our manners, people. And then we decide to go to the Museum of Freedom to track down the Minutemen, since this is the fast way to complete the main story. And also, we already have a few settlements, so it's kind of a no-brainer for us. The Museum of Freedom goes amazingly well as we just nuke everybody with our Atom Cat shell-shock doctrines. And, you know, Zeke and Duke would be proud of us. Eventually, Preston wants us to help out. And you know what? We will be nice to you, Preston, for a change, since you do have a perception bobblehead in here. Anyway, since we remembered our manners, the Brotherhood has still also remembered to say thank you by killing a Deathclaw. That's pretty damn cool of you, Brotherhood of Steel, and we shall continue an ally and have regular afternoon tea. Yeah, it's very good stuff. Anyway, we go to Nick Valentine. They say how they need us to use Kellogg Cornflake Cybernetics, and for once we decide to do Piper's interview, since we are having quite a blast, quite literally, and it's free experience if anything else. So we go to the Memory Den with Senior Nick Valentine, lovely stuff, and then we have to go to the Glowing Sea and fight the Deathclaw outside Virgil's Cave. Quite frankly, it's a comedy show as the Deathclaw just gets thrown around, then we do the triple bang shot, and it finishes the random Deathclaw, and it's a knockout for us. Virgil respects our Atom Cat drip, and for once we actually pass the speech check. Not that it does anything, but it's cool nonetheless. Then we resupply, go to Green Check the Genetics, and then it begins, our Oppenheimer Gauntlet of Shock and Awe. It's just ridiculously overpowered playing this way, I have to admit. No reload times, no limit on fusion cores, only your ammo, and you can just drop as many as you like, as quickly as you can hit the button on your keyboard. It's totally broken, amazing, perfectly balanced, as a famous YouTube would say, and the gunners are literally the shrapnel flying into the walls. It's fantastic. And the star of the show here in Green Tech Genetics is, of course, the Corsair. With the Corsair ship in hand, we go to the Old North Church, and well, needless to say, the enemies are not that difficult, but what I didn't expect was the railroad to become hostile. Now, this is hilarious, since we haven't even opened the room up yet, and with the sign done, they just start fighting us in the pitch black. So we just do the usual, let them face the power of the fusion cores going off for dime a dozen, and the results are hilarious as per the usual, since they talk a big game, but don't know how to deal with big explosions and a big dog. So well done, Railroad. You didn't know what you were dealing with, and now your agents are dead. Anyway, so rub salt in the wound, we go into the Railroad HQ, and once again, they don't know who they're facing, so we just let out many explosive eggs in their vicinity, and well, they are down for the count, including Pam. Now, I always liked you, Pam, but I'm sorry, you are complicit in this, and you are part of the Railroad. So down you go. We'll let it all burn, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Railroad must burn. It's amazing. Preston then says we're the new general. Cool, I guess, and he suggests to take back the castle. And well, normally we would say yes, but well, nuking our allies, not a smart move, so we go alone, and the Mirelurks are really confused as to why their food is dropping explosive Billy Hatcher eggs. And when we say sayonara, the Mirelurk Queen comes to say hello and express her displeasure. So, hello Mirelurk Queen, we go on the wall and begin acting like a pigeon to drop a payload, and not on the car, but on a large enemy. 5 drops later, and the Mirelurk Queen is dead from embarrassment. The castle is ours, and we are now ready for the next stage since we've done Nick Valentine's questline. We can now build the teleporter to get in the Institute, and that's what we do. Then we decide to act like a pigeon again, squat and lay in front of Father, and well, he gets a fresh egg. And here's the results. Institute don't know what to do, so we go ahead and just nuke everything in our path. This progresses the Minutemen questline so we can speed things along. Then we decide to just go in the castle tunnels, clear everything out, ready for Ronnie Shaw. Sarge is dealt with. Again, explosive fusion cores are amazing. And then we get Ronnie in the armory and install even bigger gun. One day we shall rain giant missiles everywhere. However, artillery shells and fusion cores will have to settle, but it's a great start nonetheless. Then we get ourselves the castle defense mission. Preston and Ronnie are here while Sturgis works on the network scanner, so we go ahead and because we've got gun nut rank 3, lots of missile turrets are placed, a total of 4, 2 in the back, 2 at the front, and I've never used them before, but dear lord are they powerful and keep the Institute at bay. This is the easiest castle defense ever, so we just decide to go ahead and just watch the Institute just get destroyed, and occasionally lay down our atom cap bombardment to just tear up the enemy. Now we have defended the castle, everyone is happy, we go to Sturgis, so the last area is open to us. And this is easy since T60 armor is amazing. We just run through the sewers, no problem, and gonna be honest, this playthrough has been a roller coaster. First half was kind of boring, second half is amazing, and well, here we are at the finale. The enemies are dealt with, and we hop into the water pipe into the Institute. We summon everyone in, we get to it, and of course power armor lets us jump the railings, and we can run quickly and chaotically to bioscience. The hatch opens, and the explosions have taken care of everyone, at least I think they have. And we run through the Institute in a hilarious display, just nuking everybody with fusion cores. It's hilarious. The main plaza, well, is pretty much a playground for us. We just keep dropping our fusion cores that explode. It is comedic and fun. Then Father is dead, so we do everything on his terminal, and then I tried to drag him to advanced systems, however I didn't realise we couldn't take him with us. A shame really, throwing him in the reactor would have been hilarious, but we continue the bombardment and just obliterate everything in our path. None shall stand against us. The Institute must be burnt in the ground. And then when we place the bomb in the reactor, somehow the child sim survived, clearly. So we decide let's get the biggest boom, leave, and we detonate the bomb, ending the run, answering the question, can you beat Fallout 4 with ejected fusion cores? And oh yes. Yes, you can, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So, I've got to say, my thoughts on this was it was a slow start, but my word, this was absolutely brilliant. Like a demolition derby, and I would advise you all to give this a try if you can acquire a lot of fusion cores. So, yeah, got to say, it was an amazing, and we finally became a legendary atom cat. So, a very fun and explosive challenge for all. Now, I've been Insane Frame. I'll see you all in the next challenge, so bye-bye for now. Have a great day, a fantastic night, and look after yourself. Ta-ta now, everybody.